She's used to it. She's used to it. When I used to do this when I first got it, she was like, I feel like I'm double, don't hold me. And now she's like, this is my life. She was so like, I feel like when I used to pick her up when she was a little puppy, she was, scared that I might drop her. And so she was always, let me off, let me off, let me off. And I'm like, I might actually drop you because you're kicking and stuff. And now I could just put her on my shoulder and I just have my hand on her to stop her from falling off. But she just, puts her hands and she just lies there. Like I can sometimes just put her on my shoulder, no hands, and she's not going to shift her weight because she knows she's on my shoulder. So she's so used to it. Like, she's just used to it. But she's like, this is my life. Like, if she comes here and she's like, give me attention, I'll pick her up and she'll be okay. And then she'll be like, nah, I'm done. But now she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's kissing me. Okay, he was almost done, I think. Maybe. Yep, this is my life. I love it. I love it. All right, time for the final episode. This should be good. This should be good. Get in the Ava, Shinji. She's gonna eat you one day. Yeah, she's the hellhound Pomeranian. All right, episode 25, the finale. Let's see if Shinji's learned anything from his previous fight. Oh boy, why do I get the feeling that he's just gonna get his butt kicked again? No. 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 Oh, look at that. We just skipped 3.5 minutes. The wall. There's an imposter among us. Have you noticed something about all these people worshipping the wall? They all have gold jewelry. What does that tell me? They're all from well-off families. What does that tell me? They have too much time on their hands. They don't need to work. And what do they do with their extra time? Join cults. I don't know if you believe in God, but I mean, if that's not a sign from God, I don't know what is. And nothing of value was lost. What makes you say that? He's running like a pansy. Look at him go. I mean, considering how he was fighting last time, do you really think he deserves to win? I mean, she has sloppy technique, but he has no technique. Like a car battery? Let me ask you this. If you're in a city that doesn't have a lot of room and you're low on food, why the fuck is there a park? Oh, right, this is the rich part of the city where none of the food is produced but all of it is consumed. I forgot. Look at them. They're all fucking fat. Wait, is that the Leaning Tower of Pisa? What is this stance? Are you a Muay Thai fighter? Because that's what it's looking like. Kickboxers don't usually raise their front leg like that. Kickboxers typically have a 50-50 stance. I mean, all of her weight is on her back leg. There's a lot of danger that comes with that. I mean, I get it. Muay Thai fighters are supposed to be very conditioned, so all they have to worry about blocking is their face and their head so they don't get knocked down, and they condition their knees by kicking those banana trees and things like that. But given her technique, I don't think she's that trained. Well, we'll see. Fuck this town! You can tell her lack of experience because she didn't know how to react to someone grabbing her leg. Like, if you grabbed my leg, you wouldn't get me off balance, but she's already put all her weight on the back leg, and now someone's tugging and pushing. She has no idea how to deal with that. You can see the lack of experience. I mean, shit, if you did that to a trained fighter, their elbow would be in your back so quickly you wouldn't even be able to blink. They just take you out. She's clearly lacking experience. Clearly. But going by the military standard here, I'm not surprised. Shove that rifle up his ass. They were aware of the risks. They just didn't care. Fuck y'all. Ah, crap, it's Alice. Do it, pussy! And then you have a female titan on your hands. And you haven't done shit for the past 6 months. And you've sold all your military gear. And I'm willing to bet that your gas canisters are only half full. Do it, pussy! Fucking do it! See how far you get, motherfucker! Go for it! Pull the trigger, motherfucker! Do it! Thought so. Hutton just closed the door. What was his name? I need to find it. This scene is best expressed in a meme. Let me find the meme real quick. This is the meme. This is the best way I can express it. That is the meme I wanted to share. I don't know if this will make it to YouTube, but that expresses the gravity of the situation. Do it, cunt! See how far you get! Come on! Do it! You could see at which point his balls just shrunk. I'm sorry, but there's so many openings in this stance, I can't even right now. I just can't. I can't even right now. But anyways. Now imagine answering to your superior officers that you took the Survey Corps into custody while two Titans were running a rampage in the middle of a civilian populace. You took the people capable of stopping the Titans into custody while two Titans are fighting. Nice work. To be fair, it's not like these are people who can turn into Titans that can fight it like that. That is true. But still, I'm looking at this as a fight to fight. And man, the amount of openings in this stance. As you say, she's inexperienced. She knows some good moves, but not everything. She knows the basics and she knows the theory. She hasn't used it. She's hitting with like here and here. Like a drummer, you know? Like Logan Paul fighting an actual fighter. Drumming. She's got no. Or. She could have elbowed him. Or she could have struck down. Or she could have palmed him upwards. She could have punched the nose. But she's like. She's slapping. Someone's getting a murder boner! What's this music? That looks like an extremely compromising position. Ooh! That's the only good thing she did. That's the second good thing she did. Go for the cut! Cut! Go cut her! Go! Cut! Good. Good. What? That's bullshit! What the fuck is this fusion shit? Did she freeze herself? So she's in an ice block. Can you melt it? Does that mean different titans have different elements? What the fuck is this? Okay, here we go. Currently, disclosable information. Year 784. On the night of a sea-thingly hot day, a lone miner tried to dig a passage below Walsina to enter the land within. A few days ago, the miner was swinging his small shovel in the coal mines when an idea suddenly popped into his head. A comfortable life might be waiting for him within Walsina. It was an epiphany. After that, the miner spent days searching for a suitable evacuation site until he found a densely growing forest along the wall. Nobody would pass by there, and the foliage above would likely shield his operation from view of the soldiers standing guard atop the wall. With these thoughts in mind, he decided that the next night would be the time to act. The miner dug into the earth with his familiar broad shovel. The work progressed well. Before long, the hole was deeper than he was tall. To remove the dirt he dug up, he had to dump it into a cloth bag, climb up a ladder, and empty the bag outside. When he wasn't loosening his stiff muscles, he immersed himself with the digging, breaking occasionally to drink water. The miner had absolute confidence about the dig. He would be digging holes for 20 years without rest. He learned to dig deeper, faster, and more efficiently than the others. Tunnels that others could not open were cleared easily by this miner. But things were a little different that day. Hours passed, but there was no end in sight. He tested the hole's sides, but to no avail. The wall's foundations were deeper yet. Even so, the miner never gave up. It wasn't because he was desperate to enter Wall Cena and find a better life. No, the miner only felt an ambition to overcome the wall. I swear on my 20 years of digging holes, I shall conquer this wall. Such did the miners declare as he wiped away an endless stream of sweat. But after digging farther than 4 times his height, the miner's shovel struck solid bedrock. Bedrock, thought the miner. It appeared to be of the same composition as the wall's own foundations. The miner struck it with all his strength, but the shovel broke without leaving a single scratch. At last, the miner beheaved a sigh that was deeper and greater than any hole he'd ever dug. Ooh. Ooh. We were clearing the backyard here, and it's got a lot of rocks because it's an environmental zone. And we had these big sandstones. And as you know, the older sandstone is, the harder and harder it becomes. It goes from being like yellowish sand to more browny, all the way to purple, and eventually it becomes bedrock. Anyway, we had a stone, like a big fucker like this. And we needed to break it, to disperse it and carry it. And my uncle's like, oh, we need a jackhammer. And I'm like, no, we can break it. And he's like, I'll give you $100 if you can break it. And I'm like, sure. And I went to get a bigger pick. And he's like, no, with what you have here. And I'm like, all right. And I grabbed the normal pick we have. And he's like, and it has to be within a minute. And I'm like, you're scared that I can break this, aren't you? He's like, yeah, see if you can do it. I went at it. It took about 50 seconds. But eventually the rock just cracked in half. He still owes me the $100 though. It was purple. Lucky I was able to hit the pick on roughly the same spot, but I just kept hitting it and hitting it and I must have struck it like 30 something times within the 50 seconds. Like full force. Full force. Eventually one of them just cracked it and it literally just split down the middle and opened up. He still owes me the $100. Part 2. Wall. The miner's friend asked with a somewhat puzzled expression. Strange, isn't it? Said the miner, who took a sip of alcohol. To think the wall extends so deep under the earth. The two faced each other, sitting at a table near the back of a tavern on the outskirts of town. After work, the miner usually drank there with him, his sole friend. That day, the one after the fateful dig, both friends came to work to the tavern. As usual, neither needed to invite the other. The miner revealed the happenings of the night before. He believed his friend wouldn't tell anyone. It could be that we're surrounded by walls both above and below ground, said the miner. Say, to begin with, what exactly are the walls? His friend cleared his throat and cut the miner off before taking a glance around the tavern. The other patrons seemed to be too busy drinking, making passes at the tavern maid, and chatting loudly to each other looking the other way. Even so, the miner didn't speak any more about the walls. If someone were to overhear, the military police would be quick to appear. Well, what of it? Said his friend, regaining his composure. Nothing's changed. I'll keep on digging holes. In the end, that's what suits me best, right? However, the next day, the miner didn't show up for work. Same for the next day and the day after that. The miner's friend went to visit him at home several times, but the miner was never around. The miner didn't have any family, a wife, or anyone else he was close to. So there wasn't a soul to be found that had an idea of where he could be. The miner's friend was at a loss for what to do. But eventually he told the garrison everything, including his friend's aspiration to overcome the wall. The next day, the garrison and military brigade together launched a large-scale search. Though the miner was a criminal that tried to pass under the wall, the search seems excessive for just one man. The miner's friend never understood why the miner was so desperate. Just like the hole that was supposedly dug, the miner himself was never found. Afterwards, so too did his friend disappear, leaving their whereabouts a mystery to this day. Why do I feel that this throwaway story is going to have more meaning than I initially think? This is going to be some next level, you should have seen it in episode 1 sort of thing. Why do I feel there's more to this story than meets the eye? Could it have something to do with that girl's dad or something? I don't know. Could it be? I don't know. It's just like, why are you giving me this story all of a sudden? Something's up. This is oddly specific. It's called a flamethrower. Make a bonfire. You think they have flamethrowers with their technology? Considering that they have high pressure gas canisters that they use for maneuver devices, I am pretty sure they can have a high compression of air and gas with an open flame. I mean, yes, I think it's possible with their technology. It's crystal, not ice. Worth testing with a flamethrower. Crystal is usually like not blue. Maybe they don't know how to make that. What? Hey, Levi's short. I love these pussies. They're gonna arrest the Survey Corps. Despite them literally saving this entire city and capturing a Titan, they're still gonna get arrested by fucking bureaucrats. Because the military brigade is corrupt and fat, and they probably had a Titan in their ranks. Levi's fun size confirmed. Proof? You had a fucking Titan that infiltrated your military brigade. What would have stopped them from smashing one of the doors and letting in other Titans? Where do you have proof that she wasn't planning on killing you, you fat fucks? All for nothing. Are you... oh my god. Are you serious right now? All for nothing. You had a Titan in the military brigade, and you call this all for nothing. Fuck it. Let's eat the rich people in Attack on Titan. We've just solved our food crisis problem. Cannibalism's on the menu, boys. They're nice and fat, so they'll be nice and juicy. They can cook in their own fat. The heat will finally spread through their whole bodies with all that fat. They won't burn. Just imagine that it's pork. Let's eat the rich, but first let's go to that girl that started the whole eat the rich craze. You know, the one that bought the new car, and be like, so when's our turn for the car? You know, socialism and all that. When's our turn? By the way, let's start by eating you. Let's do it that way. I always find it funny when socialists turn into capitalists as soon as they make some money. And then they move to a state with lower taxes. What happened? Oh, so when you said rich, you meant those richer than you, right? Okay, boomer. Time to die. Rules for thee, but not for me. Was that the okay boomer girl that bought herself a high-end apartment? Yeah, and she moved to Texas so she doesn't have to pay high taxes. So she went to the lowest income tax state she could find, so she stops paying taxes. And she also bought an overpriced apartment and was showing off. But she's supposedly a socialist. And her idea of socialism is spending all her money on creature comforts, while people are not having enough to feed themselves, and also moving states to reduce her taxes. But eat the rich. I'm just saying, like, cook her if you want. I don't mind. I don't care. If she wants to show off, I don't mind. Go for it. You brought it on yourself. If someone goes and robs her place, just call it distribution of wealth. I mean, that's what she's after, right? Go steal her car. Go break into her apartment. Go steal some of her food. She's got plenty. Just call it distribution of wealth. I thought she was into that shit. That's a really great point. To beat monsters, you have to become one. Ooh, are those geese or ducks? Geese, probably. We're, we're gonna see a massive titan, aren't we? We're just gonna see that big titan say, hello. That bite, though. I'll take a piece of bread and eat it! Look at him go. Look at him go. It's going to be interesting to find out what's in the basement. Yeah. I know. People have been saying there's after credits all day. I know. It's going to be interesting to see what's in the thing. We got S2 announced for 4 years. We got it in 6. Lol. That's the beautiful thing about me joining anime late into the development cycle. I don't have to wait all those years in between. I can just, like, hop into season 2 a week later. It's beautiful, isn't it? He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. I mean, I could come back with an MGS5 reference, but I don't need to. Ah, we're already demons. The big titan's gonna say hello. He's gonna say hello. He's gonna say hello. He's gonna say hello. Hello! There he is! Ha! Ha! How did I know? How did I know? How did I know? Ah! Hello. Also, girl, mind if I could ask you to see Eren getting his power up, murder a happy scene, and dub if possible? Yeah, sure. I don't mind. Where is it? Is it... Where's the power up? Is it here or is it like here? It was in the wall? That's fucking weird. Why is the Titan in the wall? That's gonna be super weird. What if the wall is just built with Titans? That's super duper fucking weird. That's gonna be like super mega ultra fucking weird. Maybe the Titan's just vibing inside the wall. What the fuck? I like how it just skips the whole thing. So where's the power up? Which episode? Is it in this episode or the previous? I thought it was on the other side of the wall. But then again, the wall's too deep to actually puncture all the way through. What the fuck's he doing inside the wall? What is this, the Great Wall of China? His power up was like... It's in this episode. Where in this episode? Because this is this one. He gets his butt kicked. So it's this one. English. Well, that's concerning. Am I the only one getting Hollow Ichigo vibes? He's definitely sounding like a Hollow. That echoing scream sounds like a Hollow. The Tide in the Wall is how the minor story could be important. Maybe. Like, someone dug into some tunnels, went to explore, and found some giant human sculpture or something, and then disappeared when they were given clearance to investigate it. I heard it on TikTok. Well, fucking TikTok, all TikTok does is take random facts on Google, turn them into a video, and subscribe, kids, because you can't read. Extra fries with a large Coke, please. That's basically TikTok. But one of the old punishments they had back in the day, and if you think punishments nowadays are bad, you know nothing. One of the old punishments they had for murderers in particular was that they used to wall them in. They used to literally get them, put them in a cavity on the wall, and brick them in, and leave a little gap on the top. And you would hear them screaming and begging and shouting, and they would eventually die of dehydration. They also did that to women that committed adultery. They would stone them into the wall. That was like, if you think punishments nowadays are bad, back in the day it was just absolutely demonic. I mean, the type of punishments that, like, do you know what one of the punishments that they did back in the day for women that were accused of committing adultery? And I'm not talking about in countries in Arabia where Islam would stone women to death. I'm talking about European countries where people were Christian. They would get a saw. We saw this in Amnesia. And they would literally sit them on the saw. And they would slowly, using their own body weight, slide onto the saw with their legs spread, cutting them upwards from, the genitalia upwards. People were fucked. People were fucked. And that's for being accused of committing adultery. Like, hey, she probably cheated on me. Let's fucking murder her. What? I mean, people just need to look back a couple of 100 years. That's not even a long time ago. That is not long ago. That is, I mean, how many lifetimes ago is that? A couple. What? Maximum a dozen. Maximum a dozen lifetimes. That's nothing. I went to a museum of torture devices. It's disturbing. Yeah, we are civilized, right? We are religious people that believe in God. I must have missed that part in the Bible where it says grab a saw and start cutting people. I must have missed it. I'm sorry. We must have been reading a different translation. Brazilian Mafia sticks sewing needles under each of your fingernails and hooks them up to a generator. Well, underneath the fingernails, you have it's very sensitive because it's never actually exposed to anything. Have you ever broken a fingernail and touched underneath? It hurts like a bitch. I mean, I have broken fingernails from hitting punching bags and weights, and they naturally get ripped off and stuff. But the first few times, it's really sensitive. I mean, what they used to do as a natural form of torture is you can actually find certain plants that are acidic, and you kind of cut them, and they're pointy, and then you stick that under people's fingernails. And so it not only punctures the skin, but the acid starts, dissolving the flesh too. And it burns. It burns. That's why 500 more years and all the stuff we're doing right now will be uncivilized. They say that the way to measure how civilized the population is looking at how they treat their criminals. And look at how we treat criminals. And I say criminals because, in California now, being homeless is considered a crime. Right? Very fucking civilized, by the way. In the Western world, letting people become homeless. Very fucking civilized, right? But the way they treat criminals, they put them in prisons, private prisons, by the way, not even state-run prisons, private for-profit prisons that effectively have slave labor. People work for like 10, 15 cents an hour in American prisons for slave labor. And politicians like Kamala Harris keep innocent people in prison because she was obviously getting kickbacks from the private prisons. But let's not talk about that. Real fucking civilized. Slavery never ended. It just changed. It went from ownership to economic slavery. Let me ask you this. Who do you pay taxes to? The state. How do you get housing? By working. So firstly, you work. And then from all your effort, you give your cut to your owners. And then you pay for your housing. You pay for your clothing. You pay for your food. And with what's left, you have a very limited, controlled set of things you can do. It's economic slavery. Because if you don't work, you're homeless. If you don't pay your taxes, you're in jail. If you think too much and speak the truth, you're suicided. Economic slavery. Meanwhile, the government can just create money out of thin air, cause hyperinflation, and debase the currency, which they're doing right now, by the way. Like, the American dollar is about to lose more than half of its buying capacity. Imagine this. Since the American dollar was created, more than 60% of the money supply, 60% of the American dollars in the world were printed and created within the past 12 months. The American dollar is going to lose more than half of its buying capacity. So what you could buy for $1 last year will cost more than $2 next year. It's not things getting more expensive. It's the currency being worth less because they're printing it. And they can print it because of the Federal Reserve. And the last president that abolished the Federal Reserve got a bullet through the head. How am I still alive? Slavs are hard to kill. You want to see how uncivilized we got? Just look at Blizzard. Just look at the Oval Office. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Bill Clinton was a sexual predator, but at least he stuck to women over the age of 18. Your current president is a pedophile. Look at how he looks at little girls in dresses. Look at her and those pigtails with those crossed legs. She looks like she's 18. I want to sniff her hair. What the fuck? All right. 3-minute break and an Overlord. Next week, if we don't finish Overlord tonight, next week we're going to finish up Overlord. Oh yeah, we got a short video to watch. Next week, if we don't finish Overlord tonight, we're going to just watch Overlord next week. And then we're going to have a vote and top 2 anime get a thing. Rating for this season? That is a tough one. That is a really tough one. It's always hard to pin down a number. It really is. I have to think. Give me a second. So, for WTF, it's definitely a high what the fuck factor. Like, really high. It really quickly, it's like, I'm watching an anime, bam, people are dead. People are getting eaten alive. People are screaming, kicking, screaming, blood everywhere, and trauma, and kids are getting raped and stabbed. So, WTF factor, really high. Music, pretty good. Story, in 24 episodes. Yeah, it catches your attention. It really catches your attention. It definitely has you wondering what the F is going to happen next. It is very difficult to foresee what's going to happen. Sometimes you could sort of, get the direction, but it definitely keeps you on your toes. The way they cycle through the characters and give them a little bit of development, give them names and kill them off, it's brutal, but it's highly effective. Dialogue and, inter-character relationships and all that, they're all good. No criticism there. The interactions and whatnot, they make the characters feel like characters even when they kill them off. They make them feel like there was somebody. You don't really know them too well, but, they're there. The fights are also pretty good. Don't get me wrong. It's completely different from what we usually expect. It introduced those 3-dimensional, maneuver things. So they created their own combat system, but they made it work. It stayed consistent throughout the season. It did, and, season 1 is always world building. They did build a world. I'm understanding more of the world. I'm interested in the world. I'm invested in the world. I'm somewhat invested in the characters. I definitely see an array of different characters. The ones I like, the ones I don't like. I definitely question who are the good guys, who are the bad guys. I'm definitely not picking up that flag and waving and going, humanity for the win! Humans are number one! Because, as we've seen, humanity in some cases in this anime is worse than the actual Titans. Because, raping little kids, sex slaves when Mikasa was a kid, and the corruption and all that stuff. So humans are definitely bad. There's definitely a very big, okay, well, we live in a society. It's very in your face. It's very raw about it. It doesn't sugarcoat it. I really appreciate that. Fuck. And then you got to compare it to other anime that had 24 episodes. So something that had 24 episodes would be, I think, Death Note at the same time had around, 50, 60 episodes in total. 24 episodes would have been the L arc. 24 episodes would have also been the equivalent of... Code Geass had 12 episodes or 24 in a season? I think it had 24 in a season. So it's the equivalent of season 1 of Code Geass. And also at the same time, it's kind of the equivalent of halfway through Full Metal Alchemist. It's sort of... 24 episodes is a fair bit of time. Comparing it to something like that, if I'm comparing it to something like Death Note's L arc, Death Note had 37. Was that in total? That sounds like in total. L was like halfway through that. If we're comparing it to something like season 1 of Code Geass and the first arc of Death Note, it's good, but it's not at that level. So, it's definitely not a 10. It's definitely not a 10. Criticism comes in that it's about 16 to 18 minutes an episode. So there's a lot of fluff. There is definitely a lot of fluffing around. And that doesn't work in its favor. But it does have all the elements of a great anime, and it is a great anime. And while I'm not the biggest fan of Eren, I do understand that the protags sometimes need to be whiny in order for them to get character progression. We've seen it countless times. Whether it be Evangelion, whether it be, Gohan in Dragon Ball, whether it be, the protagonist is not always the tough guy that gets the job done. He's sometimes the whiny guy that wants the best to happen, but he doesn't have the balls to get it done. And it's a story of him getting to that stage to actually get things done. So, I don't dislike it. It annoys me, but there's enough compensating coming from characters like Misaka or Mikasa and Levi to overcompensate for Subaru's, fucking errant shit. Jaeger's, lack of, I call him Subaru. Well, he'd be dead without his power, so he is definitely like Subaru in some regard. He needs his power to be somebody. Without his power, he's below average. Yeah, so, but I don't dislike it. It's relatable in the sense that he's helpless. He has an ideal, but he has no way of achieving it. And luckily, through the Deus Ex Machina of his powers, he's able to become a protag. Otherwise, he would have died, and his name would have never been remembered because he's a whiny little bitch that can't do anything. 7.5? 7.5 is a fair number. 7.5. 7.5. Yeah. 7.5. It's not 7. It's not 8. 7.5 is a fair number. There's plenty that makes it good. And there's plenty that could be improved. But we'll see. Some people will agree. Some people will disagree. That's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. That's what I think. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. That's my thought process. That's be all end all. I didn't even touch on the art style. I think it's completely fine. The art style is its own thing. Animation's good from what I can see. All that other stuff. 7.5 I think is a fair number. It has room for improvement, but it's a good anime. It's a good anime, but it's not God tier. At least at this stage. It's got a lot of room to improve. And from what I hear, it's got like, what, 4 seasons? 5 seasons? It's got plenty of time to improve. Plenty of time. If it's a good anime, it'll improve in season 2 or 3 or something. It's got plenty of room to improve. They can make the music better. They can make the fight scenes cooler. You know, they could really tighten it up. They could make the intros more concise. They could make the episodes less fluffy. There's so many things they can do. And there's add this to your list of anime, Kuma. Gangsta. We vote on anime we watch. If an anime is not recommended in the vote, it's not even on my radar. Like, simple as that. You guys want it? Vote for it. It's that simple. You want it? You vote for it. It's that simple. I don't mind. I'm even being fair. I even said it. When it comes to an open vote, if people decide that they want an adult stream where it's something R18 plus that we have to do on Discord, I'll do it. I do not care. As long as it's not something that's illegal, happy to watch it. Happy to react to it. You know, edit out the video and somehow try to upload it on YouTube. I don't mind. I'll grab some vodka and we'll have an adult stream. I don't care. But if you're going to vote for something like that, you better make it good. You better make it good. You better not just recycle something like the Pain Olympics or 2 Girls, 1 Cup and be like, yeah, we're going to make him cringe. It's like, no, you better make it worthwhile. If you're going to use a vote on an adult stream, you better make it worthwhile. Otherwise, like, it'll just be disappointing. So I'm even down for that when it's an open stream, when we have less than 3 series in circulation. If you guys want to have an adult stream, just vote for it. We'll make it a thing like adult stream and people can vote for it. I heard the description of what happens to Good 2 Girls, 1 Cup yesterday. The internet is a fucked up place. I'm sure everything's been done on the internet at one point, in one form or another. I only have 2 more anime I really want Kuma to watch. ReZero was one of them, and it worked. Speaking of 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Speaking of 2 Girls, 1 Cup. For our break, I am going to give you guys a wonderful song. This is going to be our break for the next 3 minutes. Let's watch the season 1 of Attack of Titan in a nutshell just before season 2. So when season 2 wins, we'll watch the opening, Attack on Titan in 8 minutes. Because, So quick 3-minute break. Enjoy the song and we are going to watch Overlord. All right, I'm going to put it on full screen. All right, quick. This is perfect. It's a 3-minute break. And everyone will be able to see chat's reaction, so I'm happy. So, like...
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun sized, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.